Hey guys, welcome to the NBA Full Court Press podcast. This is Seamus and my co-host Clayton, and today we're going to be talking about our early predictions for the NBA regular season awards, and we're going to play agree or disagree. So let's get started right away. So we're going to start with our pick for Rookie of the Year. Clayton, who's your Rookie of the Year?
My Rookie of the Year is an easy one, and I know you think I'm not going to go with this person because you think I like to look at the kind of underdog in a lot of situations, which I do. But I think the Rookie of the Year is very easily going to be Zion Williamson just because he matches, he just, kind of fits into the league better than any of the other players. Like, especially the team he's with. He's big, he's strong. He's athletic. He can do everything, except it doesn't seem too clear if he has a good jump shot yet, which he could eventually get one. But this year, he's just going to explode. I feel like he's going to take the hype that he's been getting, and he's just going to feed off of it. He's going to have a great season, better than my other picks, which would have been RJ Barrett or Ja Morant. But Zion's going to have a better season than both of them, especially with the team he's on that's pretty built around him. I can already see they're going to build around him.
My pick is Ja Morant.
I knew you were going to say that.
And that's because Zion already has a lot of good young talent on his team. He's going to have to spread that ball more. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, it's his team. He's the guy. That's why they drafted him. He's going to run the show. He's going to have the most usage rate on that team. The ball is going to be in his hands. So I think statistically he's going to have the best year. Record-wise, I doubt, because Zion's on the Pelicans. I think they're going to have a pretty decent record. Ja Morant's my Rookie of the Year. Who is yours?
I feel like just because a lot of those players fit Zion's play style, I feel like he's gonna have he's gonna be the number one option on the team, and the point guard, who's the point guard again? I feel so.
Jrue Holiday.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't want to say that and look dumb. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but he's gonna be the number one option. I feel like he's such a good fit on the team that he's gonna shine more than Ja Morant.
Okay, let's go to our
of the year.
Six man of the year. Who's yours? Oh, mine first?
Yeah.
Mine's kind of surprising. I'm just a big fan of him. Terrence Ross of the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
He got a pretty big contract. I think he's going to prove himself. In the playoffs, he played his ass off. He was putting up 20-plus points most of the games. He can shoot. He can dunk. He's basically right now what J.R. Smith was in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So Terrence Ross is my sixth man of the year.
My sixth man of the year plays for the Detroit Pistons, and his name is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose will be sixth man of the year next year, playing behind Reggie Jackson.
I think he's going to start.
I don't think he will. If he will, then my argument's invalid, but I think Reggie Jackson will start over Derrick Rose. But Derrick Rose had an explosive season last year where he did drop 50 points one game. I think that was his most memorable moment. But Derrick Rose had a really good season. He's only getting healthier. Last year was the first year I think he played 50 games in a long time. You can only get better from there. I feel like he's going to excel, especially with his shooting going up a lot and his not relying on his athleticism like he used to. He's going to get high points, and that's going to really show. It's not going to be Lou Williams because Lou Williams' minutes are going to suffer because of Paul George, which makes me really happy because he doesn't deserve it.
Jeez.
All right, defensive player of the year. I got to go first this time.
Yeah.
Mine is simply Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I'll pull up some stats real quick. Last season, let's look at his defense. He averaged 1.3 steals and 1.5 blocks, playing 32.8 minutes a game. There's no way he's going to play another season with 32.8 minutes a game. There's no way. He's going to get more minutes in that next year for sure. And with more minutes becomes more defensive stats. He was already in the top 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. So now he is definitely, with my anticipation that he's going to get more minutes, especially because he's getting better at both offense and defense. He will become like just statistically a better defensive player, which is why I think he'll be Defensive Player of the Year.
Mine is Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks. He averaged 21 minutes a game as a rookie. 7 points, which doesn't have much to do with Defensive Player of the Year, but he averaged 7 points on 70% shooting.
Who? Wait, Mitchell Robinson? Is this
Mitchell Robinson. That's my Defensive Player of the Year. He averaged a steal per game and 2.5 blocks, 21 minutes a game. He's going to get a lot more minutes there because of that. I don't care about Bobby Portis. I don't care about Julius Randle. Mitchell Robinson is going to get more minutes, and he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year because he earned it. 2.5 blocks in half a game, less than half a game.
Is there something wrong with your camera?
Is there?
Oh, I can see you now.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well,
and Mitchell Robinson's my Defensive Player of the Year.
I like that. I really like that choice. Most improved player, you're first.
My most improved player is Nicholas Batum of the Charlotte Hornets.
Isn't he
just
old?
Because I think he's like 30, 31.
He's like 90.
But Kemba Walker left. Looking at the roster, I think he's better than Terry Rozier. I think Batum's going to have to shoot more, do more.
30.
Oh, Nicholas Batum is my most improved player of the year. He's going to have to step it up. His stats are going to be inflated. He's basically going to be the best player on that team. That's my pick.
My pick last year was both a defensive player and a three-point shooter. So he's a 3-and-D guy. He averaged 10.3 points last year, a career high 11.7. And he has now just been put onto a team where he fits. And my choice is Danny Green. I think Danny Green will shoot the lights out with the Lakers. He will be getting the ball. I think he will be that he will, like, with LeBron James, that great of a passer, and Anthony Davis with a player who is willing to pass out. Danny Green is going to get a lot of open shots. And
but most improved,
yeah.
You think the stats are going to jump up with all those players?
He could average 14 to 15 points a game. He could be really good. Because, just think about it. He's a three-point shooter. And LeBron James is a pass first player, you could argue. Anthony Davis he's willing to pass the ball. Kyle Kuzma can pass the ball, and then he can shoot the ball. I guarantee you he's gonna be one of the number one options to pass to. And I think his scoring is gonna go up, and I think his defense is gonna go up because they're gonna have to rely on him a lot for backcourt defense. And I think that will win him most improved player. It's a pretty hot take, but
over Marvin Bagley and Nicholas Batum and
he could win most improved player, yeah.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Who's that? I know who he is, but still, that piece of trash.
Dennis Smith Jr. is trash.
He's on the Knicks. He sucks. All right, Coach of the Year. My first one. I think this is easy. I don't think they will have. Yeah, it did. I don't think they have the best record in the West, but I still think this coach will win Coach of the Year, being Doc Rivers, just because of his greatness and his ability to coach a team. I I feel like he's gonna construct a really great plan for the team to play with. And Coach of the Year is kind of a boring one. You can't really do much explaining about it. But Doc Rivers is my Coach of the Year. What's yours? And also, Doc Rivers, I just feel like he's a better coach than the Lakers coach. And even though I think the Lakers will have a better record next year, I still think that Doc Rivers would just be the overall better coach, which is why he will win Coach of the Year. And what is yours?
My Coach of the Year is Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz. I think Mike Conley is going to help his team a lot. He's going to be able to build a better system around this team. Mike Conley's way better upgrade, is a big upgrade of Ricky Rubio.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think that team's going to improve a lot. Quinn Snyder's going to show his coaching ability. I can't give it to Doc Rivers. His team's stacked. That's why they're going to do good. Don't get me wrong. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. His team's just stacked. That's the reason they'll do good, not his coaching.
Maybe. Well, his coaching you have to give credit for.
You have to give credit to. It's mostly he has a stacked team.
Yeah. All right. MVP. So should I? You start this one with number 3, and a brief explanation.
Number three is Damian Lillard. I think the Blazers are going to have a fantastic season, and Lillard's going to average 30. I think he's going to average 30 points, 7, 8 assists. He's going to have a good percentage. He's going to shoot over 40% from 3. I think this is his year, and he'll be in the MVP running. And I think the Blazers are going to go pretty far. I think they're going to make the second, third round in the playoffs in this deep wet. I think they'll make the Western Conference Finals. I think they have the ability to knock out the Clippers if they are able to play them one of the first 2 rounds.
My original number. Wait, what? Sorry.
I just don't think you can count out that backcourt of Lillard and McCollum. And they got Yusuf Nurkic back, and Hassan Whiteside's on that roster now. You just can't count them out.
Yeah. I was originally gonna say that my number 3 is Kyrie Irving, but I'm changing that. My number 3 is now Joel Embiid. This will be his 5th year in the league. Last year he averaged about, I think, 28 points a game and almost 14 rebounds a game, and he wasn't 100%, and he played like 34 minutes. I think he will be 100% this year, and I'm really hoping he'll be 100% this year. And if he is, which is my prediction, I think he will have a monster season where he goes like 30 points a game, like 15 rebounds per game, which is really doable for Joel Embiid easily. And he just looked really hungry after he lost last year, and he looked really passionate about the game, and it showed. I think he will be hungry this season, and he's going to prove it on the court just how great of a player he is. What's number 2 for you?
My number 2 is LeBron James. He's gonna lead those Lakers, show all the young players how to win. Anthony Davis is gonna make them look a lot better. LeBron James is gonna lead the NBA in assists. I think he's an average over 10 this year. His stat line, I believe, is gonna be 27, 10, and 8. He's gonna shoot over 50%. I think he'll have a solid 3-point shooting year. He's going to struggle with free throws still. That's his thing. But I think the Lakers are going to finish the second best record, and LeBron James is going to be the main reason why. He's going to carry them for most of the time. I think they're going to sit Anthony Davis because of his injuries throughout the year. That's my number 2 for MVP.
I don't think he's gonna carry him. He's got a stacked team. They're pretty stacked.
No, I don't mean like carry him on his shoulders. I just mean
okay. He'll be the leader.
He's gonna lead them.
Yeah. So my number 2 is also LeBron James. Last year at 34 years old, he averaged some of the best numbers ever. He's just getting better, it seems like. And if that injury doesn't like affect him too bad, then there's nothing that can really stop him. It doesn't matter how old he is. Not only is he gonna like drop a ton of points, but he's also gonna have teammates around him that fit his play style, which will increase his assist numbers. I think his rebounds will go down, but he's just gonna look like a way better teammate because of the team around him. And I think it's gonna result in him being a part of the MVP conversation. What's your number 1?
Giannis Antetokounmpo of our hometown Milwaukee Bucks. He is going to win back-to-back MVPs because he's going to take the Bucks to over 62 wins. He's going to prove everybody wrong. He is going to prove he is the best player in the NBA next year. He was not last season. I will say that. He was not the best player in the world. He is going to prove it this year. He's going to shoot over 34% from 3. He's going to hover around the 35, 36 range. He's going to get to the mid-70s from the free throw line. He's going to stop missing all those clutch free throws. He's going to lead the league in rebounds. He's going to rebound more than Andre Drummond. My stat line for him is 28, 14, 7, 1.5 steals, and 2.5 blocks. He's going to shoot almost 60% from the field.
You think he's going to go a +1 block?
Yeah. I think he's going to have one of the most historic NBA seasons ever. And I'm not being biased. Giannis is up and coming still. It may look like he's already like at the top of his prime, but he's still growing. I think he's going to take over this league, and he's going to be a multiple-time MVP with multiple championships. Next year,
Kyle Korver.
This season is the year of Giannis. He's going to win Finals MVP and the NBA MVP. That is my number 1 pick. Who's yours?
Before I say my number 1 pick, all I gotta say is LeBron James is the true deserver of MVP, which he has been ever since he's won his first MVP. Every single season except for last year, he's deserved MVP. He will deserve MVP next year, but he will not win it because the league doesn't want to give him MVP because they want to be like, well, it's special and give it to other people. But LeBron will deserve it. Number 1, Kawhi Leonard. He's going to win MVP next year. That's my number 1 choice easily.
Yeah, by popularity, I can see it.
Yes. That is the only reason why Kawhi Leonard will win MVP next year is because of the hype surrounding him. He just won the most overhyped and the most overhyped NBA championship of all time.
I want to go that far.
He beat a super injured team. The only reason
I agree with that.
The Bucks is because the Bucks were missing their open threes and they kept following Giannis, and they luckily beat the 76ers, which the 76ers would have won in overtime, I would have thought. But he's got all this hype riding on him. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He's going into next year with a great team. He's going to have a hell of a season, but everyone's going to be on that Kawhi train. And all the sports analytics who think that he's the greatest player in the league right now are going to put him at the MVP. The people who vote for him are going to put him at MVP. Doesn't matter if he deserves it or not. The reason is because there's so much hype around him. That's the only reason. I like Kawhi Leonard, but the hype has got to stop. And he will win MVP next year. Mark my words. LeBron will deserve it, though. Just remember that.
Well, then. Okay. I don't agree with some of it, but I do agree with he got some passes to the finals. And in the finals, he had some passes. But All right, now we're gonna go on to the next subject. We're gonna play agree or disagree. We're gonna list a topic. I've got 10 written down. He's got 1. I mainly
start with my 1.
So yeah, start out.
All right, my first one is very easy. It's a very common. Well, I don't know if many people talk about this, but it's regarding Jason Tatum, and it is Jason Tatum overrated? Your thoughts?
I agree.
Or Jason Tatum is overrated? Agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree. He's overrated. He didn't really improve that much last season from his rookie year. He struggled in the playoffs. The Celtics didn't play that well.
Mm-hmm.
2K gave him too high of a rating.
85 or something.
Something like that. I would put him at like an 82, 83.
Then when Derrick Rose had a better season, but only got an 80.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Tatum's a little overrated right now.
I think he's a top 3 most overrated player in the league, so I'd have to say agree. People are saying that this guy's like the future of the league. Yeah, I know he's I don't know when his birthday is, but I think he's either 20 or 21 years old. And he just got done averaging like 16 points a game or something like that and 6 rebounds. I forgot. But he like he's just not as good. Like people are talking about him like he's like the next LeBron, but he's not. And if you look at it, I mean, you can kind of see that he is sad with the Boston Celtics because of Kyrie Irving and because he's not getting as many minutes because of Gordon Hayward. But he's just not that good. I'm sorry to say it, but he's overhyped. He's not proven to be there in the clutch moments. He can't put on 20 plus points on a nightly basis. He's already, like, I know I said his minutes are getting cut, but I just pulled up the stats right now. He averages 31 minutes a game. I know he's young, but having 31 minutes a game and only averaging 16 points and being considered a star player, no.
Superstar.
Yeah, people consider him a superstar. Like, people talk about him like he's that good. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but
I'm not either.
He's not up to par with what people say he is.
Okay.
No. He could be one day.
Agree or disagree, Andrew Wiggins will never make an All-Star game.
Agree.
What'd you say?
Agree.
I disagree.
I don't think he'll ever make an All-Star game.
I think he's still young. I think he's got one in him. He's a good player. I think he's going to improve next year, especially. I think he's going to have a better season. Jimmy Butler's gone and gives them some more shots. Gives them some relaxation because Jimmy Butler is on his ass throughout the year.
Yeah, he deserved to be.
I think he's going to make one. I don't know when. I'm going to give him one.
All right. Let me ask you this question. How many players make an All-Star team? And one
12?
And is it yeah, I think so. It's either 12 or 13. I don't think it's 14. It's not. He in the Timberwolves. I mean, he could have a good season, but just think of all the talented players in the league. And it's not even the East and West thing anymore. They're doing the drafts now. So it's not the 13 best players in the East. There's 13 best players in the, what was just 13. It's the 26 or 24 best players in the league. Do you think he's a top 24? Do you think he'll ever be a top 24 player in the league with all these really good rookies coming in and all these all-stars and superstars in the league? I just can't see him being up there with those names like not Chris Paul. I don't know why I was going to say that. It's gross. Damian Lillard, John Wall potentially, LeBron James, even Chris Middleton or D'Angelo Russell. I can't see his name being up there with them.
Okay. I think one day his stats will put him up there. Then he'll average 20-something points a game one year. Oh, I think we'll have a season where people are gonna kind of sneak him in there. It's the last pick.
When I see Wiggins jerseys, I get disappointed. All right, what's the next one?
DeMarcus Cousins is the fourth option of the Lakers, not the third. So that's saying LeBron, Davis, and Kuzma are scoring options before Cousins.
I agree to start the season. Yes. But I do not know if that will change. But to start
I agree.
It will be the fourth option.
I also agree until we further see what he's going to do in the season.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. He just came off an injury, and they're probably going to want him to rest a little longer and kind of play lower minutes. So he's not going to be the third option for sure right away. It's definitely going to be Kyle Kuzma for sure.
Yeah. DeAndre Ayton will be a multiple-time All-Star.
I agree.
I also agree. He's very underrated, I think. 15 and 10 in your rookie year with a good percentage.
Jeez.
He's on the Suns. That's why he's not getting looked at right now.
He's on a team with a ball hog, Devin Booker.
I don't think Devin Booker's a ball hog.
Devin Booker's he's a ball hog. I'm sorry.
Last season he averaged 7.5 assists.
He's a ball hog. You can average a lot of assists and still be a ball hog.
I know Westbrook.
Yeah, he's a ball hog. James
Harden.
He averaged more than 10 assists a game at one point. So both of them. He's a ball hog, and I don't think DeAndre Ayton gets the ball enough. And if he gets a player who passes more, he will just shine. And I can see him up in the top 24 players in the league easily.
Oh, I can see him as a top 5 center in the league.
I could see him eventually as a top 12 to 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay. Damian Lillard will win either an MVP or a title by the end of his career.
I gotta look something up. I don't think he will ever win a title. He's 29. I don't think he'll ever win a title on the Blazers. I think if he wins a title, he has to win it this year.
I also disagree, sadly.
I don't think he'll win MVP either, unfortunately.
I have him third in my MVP voting, and I think he's going to go far.
Second.
What?
That's third, not first or second, so that kind of shows.
I don't think there's players better than him. This team's not good enough to win a championship compared to these other teams. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I think he's going to finish his career with no MVPs and no champion. I don't even think he's going to make a finals appearance.
I think he'll make the Hall of Fame, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's the second best point guard in the league right now, I think.
Yeah, Stephen Curry and then Damian Lillard. He's my number 2 as well. He used to not even be in my top 5. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was last year, too. He wasn't even in my top 5. I'm dumb.
Next. The Milwaukee Bucks will make the NBA Finals.
I agree.
I think they're going to win it.
I don't think they'll win it. If they go against the Clippers, they're losing, and if they go against the Lakers, they're losing, and they have a better chance against the Clippers than the Lakers. Because Giannis, he will develop a 3-point shot, but what does that matter when you're when he's training with Kyle Korver, he's looking good. I saw a video, and LeBron James, if you're going against Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, it doesn't matter if you can shoot the ball, because those are some of the most elite perimeter players. You can argue those are top 3. Those are the best perimeter defensive players at their positions. All of them. like point guard, shooting guard, small forward, perimeter defense, number one in the league, each position. And who cares if he can shoot? Because you have them in your face. And then if he drives, they're just gonna follow him. It really depends on his free throw if they're gonna win, because they're gonna do Kawhi Leonard's gonna do the same thing as last year.
My X factor, Giannis is gonna get double teamed. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether or not Chris Middleton's gonna prove his contract, and I believe he is.
Me too.
I think he's gonna average 23, 24 points a game this year. I think he's gonna go lights out from three. I think he's gonna be a good second option. He's gonna prove himself this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's my reason why the Bucks are gonna win the championship. Chris Middleton's the X factor. Giannis is gonna do his thing. Can Chris Middleton show up? That's the thing. And he will show up.
They'll make the finals. If they lose, or if they win, props to you. But I see no chance against the Lakers, and I see a small chance against the Clippers.
Ready for this?
The next one, yeah.
If the Bucks play the Lakers, Bucks in 6.
6? How?
If the Bucks play the Clippers, Bucks in 7. I think the Clippers stack up better against us than the Lakers do. This is the reason why. We're too young and quick for the Lakers. They have too many old guys. And Anthony Davis is too injury prone. He can't keep up with Giannis. I don't trust
but Giannis isn't going to score on Anthony Davis in the paint.
Yes, he is. Who one-on-one, who can stop Giannis? You need two people.
But that kind of proves your point, because I said Kawhi Leonard. But here's the thing. The Lakers,
I know. That's why I'm saying the Clippers are going to.
They have they have a more complete offense than the Clippers. Clippers do have a better defense.
Well, how do you know?
Is going to be unstoppable, and I feel like at the shooting guard you have Danny Green to guard Middleton if he's playing shooting guard. Small forward LeBron James. People say he's not a good defender, but yes, he is. He's a great defender. LeBron James is going to be hard to score on. And then if you're going to try to drive in, you have Anthony Davis waiting for you in the paint. That's a defense. That team can play defense.
How do you know the Lakers didn't have good ball movement? We haven't even seen them play yet. This is a completely different team.
LeBron James and Rajon Rondo. They have a bunch of players willing to pass the ball.
The Clippers kept most of their team.
The Clippers have a bunch of people who are known for scoring and defense, but not passing. Kawhi Leonard was never known as a passer. Paul George was never known as a passer.
Kawhi's a great passer. Kawhi's a good passer.
No, he's not. He's horrible at passing. That's his one downfall, is passing.
No, he's a good pass. Look at his stats. He's a good pass. Look at his highlights. He can pass.
He lacks passing. He's an all-round player, but his passing.
You just don't like Kawhi Leonard.
No, I love Kawhi Leonard. I really, really like him. I just think that I just don't think he's living up to the hype, and I don't think he's that good of a passer.
This argument's going to take over the whole show. Let's go on to the next one.
All right, yeah, the next one. We can talk about this another time.
The Pelicans will make the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, they will.
I disagree. The West is stacked.
Oh wait.
They're a little too inexperienced and a little too young.
I'm sorry, they won't. I wasn't thinking, because I just remembered the freaking Spurs, Warriors, and Mavericks. They're all there, and they're all.
The way you got to think about it is,
teams
that miss the playoffs in the West, they still have a winning record.
Yeah, they do.
That's going to be hard to make the playoffs. I think the Pelicans are going to finish with like a 41-41, 42-40 record, because it's a brand new team. They're all young and experienced. I mean, some of them had 2-3 years. That's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a little bit. Next year, I think they will. This year, no.
Easily.
I think they're going to hover around.
I had him like
Yeah.
around 10th or 11th seed.
They're going to hover around a 500 record, maybe one above 500. That's where I see them.
Mhm. Well, you basically explained my point too, so there you go.
All right.
What's the next one?
James Harden and Russell Westbrook are the most dangerous and lethal duo in the NBA.
I disagree.
I'm on the fence.
Are they the best or the most dangerous? Wait, you're saying the most dangerous and lethal?
Yeah, not talent wise. I guess like
Oh.
scoring wise, going at you. I'm
disagree.
on the fence.
I'm not gonna say LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but the reason why I disagree is because the Splash Brothers are still a duo. I don't care if are we talking about healthy? Because healthy, Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry are more lethal and a more scary duo than those two.
They're the most. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. They have the most They're the most achieved duo. You can't disrespect them. They're still number one. They're still the best duo.
No.
Yeah, you can't disrespect. I gotta give it to Steph and Klay until they prove me wrong.
But well, anyway, back to the original question though. I guess Klay Thompson, when Stephen Curry is not on fire, which is almost never, Klay Thompson is always on fire. He never gets cold.
I guess the question is, you're the coach of the team you're coaching an NBA team. Out of all these duos in the league, are Russell Westbrook and James Harden the duo that scares you the most when you're coaching against the other team?
No,
I'm gonna
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree as well. I think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are a little more harder to coach against. No, then the question was Westbrook and Harden. I even think Kawhi and
better than
them, and I think Kawhi and George are a little harder to coach against than those two as well.
I think Kawhi, George, Kyrie Durant, when healthy, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis are all scarier than those two.
I can say this though. Westbrook and Harden will put the most points on you.
Yeah, they will. Easily.
So.
All right, what's next?
Buddy Hield will be an NBA All-Star next season.
I don't know enough about him. I don't pay attention to Buddy Hield. I'm sorry. I really don't pay attention to him.
He was.
You can educate me real quick. And I don't
let me double.
Because I don't hear much about him, and he's not going to be. Once again, my point. He's not a top 24 player in the league.
I would consider him the best player in Sacramento, or maybe the best scorer. He has a potential to score a lot of points.
What about De'Aaron Fox? Is he better than him?
De'Aaron Fox is their best defender, and he can still put up points. I think Buddy Hield's a better scorer. I don't see it. I think the West has too many stacked guards. I think in total the NBA has too many stacked guards.
He's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument for it. I don't know though.
I don't see it. I just think it's too stacked. The guard position is, I think, the hardest to get into the All-Star game.
Yeah, but at the same, it's not a West-East thing anymore. But
yeah, it's not.
Because of the amount of guards in the league, and he is a guard, I would have to agree with you.
So you're gonna have to look at James Harden, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker to a lesser degree, Victor Oladipo, and then even guards, because it's both point guards and shooting guards. Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, DeMar DeRozan is considered a shooting guard, small forward. Kyle Lowry's still there. Yeah, it's Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. What's the next one?
I already know what you're gonna say. The Lakers will make the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they will.
I agree. I think LeBron's too experienced for the Clippers. I think he's going to beat them if he plays them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, The Lakers, they have so much experience on their team. They have Quinn Cook now, who has just played in the finals a lot of years. He's
It's an underrated pickup.
underrated pickup. You got LeBron James. He made the finals 8 straight years. You have Danny Green, who's won 2 finals with Kawhi Leonard, so he knows.
Against LeBron. He's beat
But
LeBron.
you say Kawhi knows how Danny Green plays, but at the same time, Danny Green knows how Kawhi plays, and Kawhi's the better player than Danny Green. So you're gonna get stuff like information like that from Danny Green, and he's got finals experience. Rajon Rondo has finals experience, right?
Yeah, he won the title in 08 with the Paul Pierce and KG. You could argue he was the best player.
You could.
He played the best.
In the finals, yeah. I feel like their team has so much experience in the playoffs and the finals compared to the Clippers, and that's really it. I just think it's all about experience, and it's all about like straight up just LeBron playoff mode. Because LeBron playoff mode is the best player of all time. I'm sorry.
All right. And the last one, and after this, I'm going to add something to the show. We're going to do a debate. I think we're going to agree, but I think it's going to trigger a lot of our fans. I think we're going to gain some and lose some.
Is it the GOAT one?
We're going to name, in order, our 5 greatest players of all time, in our opinion. Because since I think this show has been a little shorter than usual.
All right. All right, go ahead.
Spurs will miss the NBA playoffs for the first time in, I believe, 22 or 23 years.
No, I disagree. They will make the playoffs.
I agree. I think they're going to be the 9th seed. I think Sacramento is going to bounce them out.
I have Sacramento at 10.
You know what? I disagree.
You know why? They've got the best duo in the NBA now.
Because
they got the best.
Tim Duncan is the assistant coach.
Yeah,
and I think
good pop.
I think that bumps them in the playoffs. I switch now. People got to ignore that episode. Any new people that are watching the show, don't watch that because I have the Spurs out. I have them in now. That episode now, my early predictions are completely erased.
Aldridge.
We got to do new standings right before the season because mine just switched.
Yeah. All right, next one.
All right, that's it. Now we got a list in order who we think the 5 greatest players of all time are.
This is
talent-wise.
This is on the spot. Jeez.
All right, you start with do you have them? You already memorized your top 5 of all time?
Let me write them down. I need to type them up real quick. Here,
I pretty much already know mine.
Greatest or best?
Greatest players of all time. Talent-wise and achievements.
All right. I got it.
I think I'm going to trigger a lot of people with this.
All right, number 5 for you?
Number 5 is a toss-up. I can't decide one over the other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bump Duncan down to 6. Kobe Bryant is the 5th best player of all time, in my opinion. I think he has a big fan base, but he also has a crowd that thinks, oh, he has the most missed shots of all time. That means he sucks. He got carried by Shaq. He's so inconsistent. He's a rapist, stuff like that. They always say stuff they hate on him. Kobe Bryant was the closest thing we've ever had to Michael Jordan, and he did some stuff better than Jordan. Kobe Bryant won titles on his own, and he took playoff. I don't care if he had Pau Gasol. He carried those teams in the finals sometimes. And he took the team to the playoffs with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. That's worse than teams LeBron had in his early years. And Kobe Bryant averaged 27 a game the year after he tore his Achilles. Let that sink in. And he was a good defender, great defender. He is very underrated. He has a big fan base, but he is underrated. People need to start putting him in the GOAT conversation. He is one spot away from my NBA Mount Rushmore. That's my number 5.
My number 5 is a toss-up between 3 players, and I'm choosing one of them. It's either between Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, or Tim Duncan. And I'm going to have to go with the man with 5 rings, the gray and black. Tim Duncan is my number 5 greatest player of all time.
I had to bump him down.
Because Kobe Bryant has always had really great teammates. I know he's made sometimes, like with Shaquille O'Neal, how many finals did he make with him? Like 3? And yes, he's
4
had 2 years. Or 4? Yeah, 4. 1 year without him.
Kobe's made 4 finals with Shaq. He's made 4 NBA finals with Shaq. He's won 2 without him.
Oh.
Kobe has 5 championships.
Yeah, so does Tim Duncan.
I'm going to interrupt you once, and I'm going to let you go without no interruptions. Duncan had great teammates too, if not better.
Yeah, he did. He had great teammates.
And he had Greg Popovich for his whole career. He never changed coaches.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything else. You go ahead.
All right, Tim Duncan's a 5-time champion. And here's why I think he's the 5th greatest player of all time. He has always had the same teammates. They built around him. The team built around Tim Duncan, and he's always had that same core teammates, and they've always been contenders. And he's always been the number 1 player on that team who they've built around. He was the core of that team. He was the reason why they were successful. They built around him, and he beat LeBron James in the finals is another reason. He beat LeBron James in the super team. My argument's really kind of flustered right now because you did knock down one of my points. But I still think Kobe Bryant had one of the greatest centers of all time on his team. I don't think Tim Duncan ever had a teammate like that.
David Robinson.
I don't consider him one of the greatest, a top power forward ever. He is a really good power forward, but he's not a top power forward ever.
Hey,
Kobe Bryant's had better teammates. Kobe Bryant, obviously he's one of the greatest ever, but it's just him and Tim Duncan are so similar, but I got to give Tim Duncan that edge just because he didn't play with that great of a teammate, and because he knocked out LeBron James, arguably tougher competition. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah.
All right.
It's so hard. I could argue Kobe Bryant too. That's why it's really difficult.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, I had in my top 5 for a while, but I bumped him down to 7 under Tim Duncan. I'm gonna switch around. Tim Duncan 7, Wilt 6. Man, it was my top 7 were all close. Number 4, Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Best point guard of all time, still. I don't have Curry above him yet. We might get there eventually. Magic Johnson, the best passer of all time, best leader, best at running the show. He had Kareem in his career, but I think Magic Johnson would have won championships and MVPs without him. He was always facing Larry Bird, and always Larry Bird beat him a couple of times, so Magic Johnson beat him more. We've never seen a 6'9" point guard like that could do everything. He's incredible. He was LeBron before LeBron. LeBron's a little better, in my opinion, which kind of gives away my list, but Magic Johnson's my fourth greatest of all time.
I wanted to put him in the top 5, but he was a part of my like kind of getting knocked off and kicked because of Tim Duncan, because I just love him so much. He's a great player, great talent. Player. Johnson in my top 5. My number 4
you have Tim Duncan over Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
You need to be drug tested.
Bill Russell, number 4. This is where it comes more to the achievements rather than the skill. Yes, he was a skilled player. Not every single season was he the best player on his team. Pretty sure he barely won any finals MVPs. At the same time, the guy's got 11 rings. I mean, that's amazing. 11 seasons. He played 13 years. And that's so crazy. I know there's only like how many teams, like 8 teams or whatever when he was in the NBA. You know something funny about Bill Russell though? I think I saw an interview with him and Michael Jordan. He told Michael Jordan that Michael Jordan said something about he probably could have won a title back in his era because there were so little teams. But Bill Russell said, yeah, there are so teams that more people will get cut. You'd be in the stands or something like that. But Bill Russell, he was top talent of that era, 11 championships. He's the reason why Boston Celtics had that 17 on their jersey. He's just great. It more comes down to his achievements and his skill.
I'm gonna knock you at that too. I didn't put him in mine because he was a good defender, amazing defender, one of the best rebounders of all time. Couldn't score that well. His percentage, he averaged for a big guy, for a center, he shot around 44% and averaged like 14, 15 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's that great. And he did play in a league where there was 8 teams. And there was only 2 good teams during that time. Oh, but my number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What I said about Magic, you could say about Kareem. Kareem would have won championships without him. Well, he did. He won in Milwaukee with the big O. Kareem had the most unstoppable shot of all time. The hook shot, nobody could stop it. Nobody could guard it. He's the leader. He's the most career points in NBA history, and it's looking like it might be untouched. I thought LeBron was going to pass it, and I still think he will. But LeBron got hurt. He's getting up there in age. He doesn't have much longer to do it, and it's going to be close. He's not going to pass it by a lot. But Kareem is the best center of all time. And that is why he's my number 3. 5 rings.
Yeah, he is the best center of all time. He's one of the only players to ever win a championship with the team and then dip. That's what he did with the Bucks. I just said that. Okay. He had the sky hook. He's a 5-time champion. He rocked the sideburns, and he was just an absolute beast. Greatest center of all time. You hit the points right where I wanted to hit them. So, thanks. Who's your number 2? I want you to make him mad first.
Oh, that was your number 3?
Yeah.
I know ours is the same. This is where we're going to lose fans, if we even have any right now.
Oh, awesome.
Michael Jordan is the second best player of all time. 6 championships. He's amazing.
On here. So keep it brief. I'll hit it hard.
I'll keep it brief so you can do it. 6 championships. He's won a defensive player. He's not the only player to do it, because I think Hakeem Olajuwon did it before. He won Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same season. David Robinson might have done it too. He's incredible. He averaged I think 30 points for his career. He's won dunk contests. He's made a 3-point shootout, even though he should have never been. He had no business being in it. I think he finished last place. But my knock against him, he would not have a single chance. He might have won. He would not win more than one championship. He never had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. He kept getting bounced out by the Detroit Pistons, and that is my knock against him. He could not beat the Pistons.
He couldn't.
Until they got old.
All right.
I'll let you do all the points.
My number 2 is Michael Jordan. And you already know what my number 1 is. We'll get to that. So, in the 1991 NBA Finals, his first year, he beat the Lakers 4-1. The Showtime Lakers. But yeah, their Showtime was over. They were old as hell. They were all super old. He had Scottie Pippen. He had Dennis Rodman. Just obliterated them. All right, Trailblazers. We don't need to talk about them. They won in 6. They sucked. Suns. Charles Barkley. Yeah, okay. Charles Barkley's good, but who did Charles Barkley have? Not too many. Michael Jordan had 2 All-Stars, 6 games.
He had Kevin Johnson.
He had Kevin Johnson, yeah. But Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman?
Man. Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong was an All-Star. Horace Grant for the Bulls.
He plays baseball for 2 years. And then Scottie Pippen almost won the title with the Bulls. But he gets cheated out of it. That was a cheat. He should have won. They should have went to the finals. All right, then he goes against the Supersonics. Oh, I'm tired already. That team was not that good.
What?
Shawn Kemp
and Gary
Payton.
You can't say that team wasn't that good. That was a good finals win for Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay, listen here. That was not even their most impressive finals win. So Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton once again were getting pretty old. They were getting really old. And Michael Jordan was an all-defender. Scottie Pippen's an all-defender. And Dennis Rodman's an all-defender. You got 3 all-defenders against 1. Shawn Kemp was good, but he wasn't a superstar. Like, I feel like you could argue Scottie Pippen above him. You have like the 2 best.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The 2 best players on the court were on the Bulls. All right, you ready for this? And you can't blame them. I mean, it's a good team. They went against the Jazz. They went against my boy, never won a championship, Karl Malone and John Stockton. That team sounds absolutely deadly.
Jeff Hornacek.
Let me just say one thing about him. I don't give a damn if Karl Malone won MVP. He was old, and you could tell in the finals. He was old. He was like 34, 35. That guy was old as hell. And it just seems like every single year that Michael Jordan played a team in the finals, it was an easy team. Like, it was a case.
When are you gonna list points proving why Michael Jordan, good points why he's number 2?
Well, he's 6-0 in the finals. There you go. That's all you gotta say. 6-0 in the finals.
5 MVPs.
A ton of scoring titles. 5 MVPs.
One of the best on-ball defenders of his time.
Great McDonald's commercial where he said, "Stop it. Get some help." He's great. Yeah. But at the same time, he didn't have competition. And every single time he did have competition, he'd get his ass knocked out in the first round. And that's just a simple thing to it. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. All right, let's go to our number 1. Who's yours? And I already know.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
It might just be because I've seen LeBron James play more than Michael Jordan. This is my thing about greatest of all time. This is my opinion, but it's also my opinion that there's no such thing as a greatest player of all time, period. I think this is just for fun. This is, in my opinion, who I think. But I don't think there's LeBron. You can't say LeBron's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of the 2010s.
Generational thing. I agree with that.
Yeah, there's greatest player of decades. That's how I do it. Greatest player this decade, that decade, that decade. But LeBron James is the best player I have ever seen in my entire life. I do not care about his finals record. Stop hating on him. People hate on him too much. He's done nothing to deserve the hate. He's the best, one of the best passers I've ever seen. He's unstoppable when he drives in the paint. He's been the best player on his team every time he's won the finals. And when he did, Wade was older and injured. Chris Bosh he showed up. Chris Bosh is underrated in those finals. He had Ray Allen at like the age of 74, even though he hit a really good three-pointer. LeBron James, he has the only finals you can hold against the man is 2011 against the Dallas Mavericks. He choked. Yeah. LeBron James choked. He flat out choked. And Dwayne Wade showed up. Chris Bosh showed up. They just choked. Otherwise, you cannot give me a finals where LeBron did not play well. He took the Warriors by himself with Matthew Dellavedova as the second best player to 6 games. He came from 3-1 down. Yes, he had Kyrie Irving. Every player needs help. You can't say, oh, LeBron had Kyrie, that's why he won. Okay. Jordan had Pippen. Magic had Kareem. Kobe had Shaq. Kobe had Gasol. Duncan had Parker Ginobili. He was 3-1 down, and he won 3 in a row, averaging over 40 points a game to win that NBA Finals. And he hit some big shots.
Yeah.
I've never seen a player that size and that skill before. He is the best player I've ever seen in my life. And this is opinion. I don't think these are facts. Everybody's different. I don't believe in one GOAT. This is just, he's the best player I have ever seen in my life. That's all I have to say.
Decade, generational thing. But if I were to choose the greatest of all time of all the decades, it'd be LeBron James. And it's not because I grew up watching him. It's just because he is. Basically, LeBron James, he's 6'8", 250 pounds, and he was the fastest player in the league for a while. He is just phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, the only reason I'm being negative about Michael Jordan is because so many people are negative about LeBron James, and that's the only way you can kind of prove your point to say he's number 2. You have to be negative because it's so easy to argue that he's number 1. But LeBron James, he's made the finals 9 times. Two times he's been swept, but who cares? I mean, both times he was all by himself. He's made the finals 8 straight years, and here's the thing that gets me. Every single year he has ever played in the NBA, ever since he was a rookie, he has always been the best player on that team. Michael Jordan, you can argue when he was with the near the end of his career with the Wizards, he wasn't the best player on his team. And yes, you could say, well, LeBron James hasn't reached that time yet. Well, it's looking like LeBron James isn't going to reach that time because he's getting better and better as he ages.
Well, I think Anthony Davis will pass him up eventually. Anthony Davis he's the best
team. Well, Anthony Davis will get better stats, but LeBron James will still be the best player on the team.
Anthony Davis is the best player LeBron James ever played with.
LeBron James has gotten help in the finals, and yes, he started the super team era. But
no, he did not. No, I don't agree.
This era,
LeBron didn't start that. That has been around for ages. People just like to hate on LeBron. Did not start super team. That is complete bullshit.
Listen to this though. It's not a super team if it gets built, because most teams that are he started the players leaving a team to join a new team and make a super team. Players used to not do that. Like Shaquille O'Neal
did it.
Yeah, I was about to say Shaq. You could say that, but people didn't follow in his footsteps. When LeBron James did it, everyone started doing that. That's one thing you can put against him. But LeBron James, I really think it's all about the argument. I'm not arguing stats or none of that, but I really think that his competition in the finals has been absolutely just unstoppable competition. And 3 out of his 9 times there, he has overcome it. There was only one time in the finals where he was seen as as he was not seen as the underdog, and that was against the Mavericks, and he lost. But he went against a 73-9 team, which had and he had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Kevin Love, obviously, he had a good series, but he wasn't too much there. But he led that team to a victory against a 73-9 team. Came back from a 3-1, never been done before. That just shows how determined he is as a player. And when he was with the Miami Heat, he was an underdog against the what's it called? See, I'm getting really lost in thought right now because I've been talking for a while and you interrupted me. You really hit it well. He's always been an underdog. He's just a fun player to watch, best player I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm really tired right now.
And that's it. That's the end of the show for the day. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is all that ranting I did about Michael Jordan really tired me out. You hit it. Well, listen to what he said. I was really lackluster on LeBron because it was fun, but I got really tired after that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for watching, and you guys have a spectacular night.
Hey, this is just kind of an edit after the video. So, at the reason why I was kind of like stuttering and stuff at the end is just because I was really tired and I just got done with a long week of work and all that kind of stuff. So, what I meant to say was, one of my main arguments for LeBron James is I felt like he was able to prove that he can carry a team with nothing and still win, while Jordan couldn't prove it, because Jordan without Scottie Pippen, I believe, was like 1-9 in the playoffs. I think his record was, or 1-8, and LeBron James has made the finals twice with no help. So that's all I wanted to say, and I was really tired, so I apologize for that. Thank you for watching.